I'm so glad that we're together. I'm so glad you're near. It's good when friends are together. I'm so glad I'm here. Welcome to the workshop. Welcome, welcome to my special friend. I'm so happy and delighted you are near today. I'm so glad you came to visit. I'm so glad I'm here. It's going to be a really good day, all because you're near. I'm so glad that we can be friends, learn together, grow together, talk together, sing together, a song or maybe two. 1, 2. I'm so glad you came to visit. I'm so glad I am here. It's going to be a really good day, all because you're near. Do you have any ideas what I might have in this bag? It's one bag, but there are many things in this one bag. Let's take it over to the table and look inside. Come on. What do you think I have in this bag? Makes noise, doesn't it? Let's find out. There's nothing scary in this bag. No. I brought some fun things with me today. Let's see. I have an empty container that coffee came in. And I have a small set of bongo drums. I have something else. I have a musical instrument that's called a shaker. And I have this little container that was sent to me in the mail. Someone had something that they didn't want to fold, so they rolled it up like a scroll, and they put it inside this tube, and then they sealed it up, and they put it in the mail, and it came to my house. And I thought we could use these things today. I'll put the bag to the side. Now, I was thinking that maybe you and I could make our very own drum. Now, these are fancy drums. You might have some like this at preschool or at school, or you might not. That's okay. These are called bongo drums. And one is large and one is small. If you hear well with your ears, can you tell the difference in the sound? This one has a little higher sound, and this one has a little lower sound. Well, I don't have two per se, but I do have one empty coffee container, and I thought maybe we could make our own drum out of this. What do you think? Also, I have the musical instrument that's called a shaker. It's in the shape of an egg, and it's green in color. But when you shake it, it makes noise. I thought you and I could use this empty container and make our very own shaker. So why don't we put our fancy musical instruments to the side and focus on making our very own fancy instruments, ones that we make ourselves. Now, for this project, I thought we could decorate the sides of this, coffee can. I dropped it. I thought we could decorate the sides of this coffee can with paper, maybe some other things, and maybe we could cover the top with tissue paper. In fact, I already have one here at the workshop that I worked on earlier. One other thing, and we'll get to this in a moment. This is the exact same thing, and what I did is I took 2 paper bags and I wrapped them around brown paper bags, small brown paper bags, and I wrapped them around and I taped them with tape. And then I took some yarn or some string and I put as decoration on our drum, and I taped it on the bottom. And I took some tissue paper and I put that on the top. And we have our very own drum made from an empty coffee container. Maybe if you have an empty coffee container at home, you could ask the adults in your home if you could have it to make your very own drum. Never just take a coffee container from the kitchen, no, because it might have coffee in it. But if it's empty and the adult in your home is going to throw it away, you could always ask, may I please have this to make a drum? Now, how about a shaker? Would you like to make a shaker? I was thinking that we could put something inside this to make a shaker. And I thought maybe we could use these small pebbles to put inside this to make our very own shaker. What do you say? Let's give that a try. Put in a few. And we'll just let them go right in, like so. Put the top on. You know, I was thinking, even this old jar full of pebbles, it could be a big shaker. It surely could. You know, when I was a child, sometimes when I would feel angry or mad about something, it would help me to make something with my hands. And the more I made something, the less angry I felt. I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands. When I get angry and feel real angry, it helps to make things with my hands. I don't have to hit or bite or punch, 'cause I control my feelings, my angry, mad feelings with the fun things that I make. I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands. I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands. When I get angry and feel real angry, it helps to make things with my hands. I don't have to hit or bite or punch, 'cause I control my feelings, my angry, mad feelings with the fun things that I make. I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands. Oh, I do like to make things with my hands. You know, singing songs and drawing pictures and making things like musical instruments or arts and crafts can be a way of helping someone work on angry, mad feelings. Have you ever seen or ridden a carousel? Some people call a carousel a merry-go-round. Well, near this workshop, there's a carousel. And I'd like to take you there right now to see and hear the carousel. Come on. I'd like to take you to see the carousel and to hear the carousel. The carousel has a very special music organ that plays special music. And I'd like for you to be able to both see the carousel and hear the carousel if you hear well with your ears. So let's you and I go together to the carousel. Come on. Well, here we are at the carousel. Let's go inside. Well, here we are inside the carousel. I think I'm going to ride the horse behind me. While I get on the horse, if you would like to look at some of the other horses close up, that's okay. I think the ride's getting ready to start. Come on over with me. Now we need to listen carefully. We'll hear a bell, and when we hear that bell ring, we will know that the carousel is getting ready to turn. There's the bell. We've started turning. If you hear well with your ears, listen closely for the music. The carousel starts out slowly and begins to move a little faster and a little faster and a little faster. If you noticed, some of the horses go up and down, and some of the horses don't. There is the carousel music organ. Isn't it grand? Now the carousel is beginning to slow down. Going a little slower, and a little slower, and a little slower. You never want to get off your horse or get out of your chariot on a carousel until the carousel has come to a complete stop. When the carousel comes to a complete stop, we will hear the bell ring again. And when we hear the bell ring, we know that it's safe to get off of our horse or out of our chariot. There's the bell. We can get off our horse now. That was so much fun. I'm glad we could share the carousel together. Come on, let's go back to the workshop. What did you think about the carousel? How did you like the music organ? The music organ was large, and the instruments were built inside the box, and a fancy machine makes the instruments play the music. And to think someone had to imagine building that music box and that carousel. Someone had to carve from wood each of the animals on the carousel. To think about the good things we can do when we first imagine and pretend. When you imagine, when you pretend, when you imagine, you can try most anything. When you imagine, when you pretend, when you imagine, when you pretend. When you imagine, when you pretend. Well, let's you and I have a little imagining and pretending of our own. Let's go over and get our fantasy play toys and have some fantasy play. Come on. We've been thinking a lot about music today. Tell you, as I clean up the table, why don't we pretend about Mumbo, Bewley, and Audrey playing with instruments at Mumbo's workshop? Maybe someone's having a hard time sharing instruments. I wonder how they might work that problem out. Let's think about that now.
Mumbo, these are great instruments. Thank you for sharing your collection with me.
Bewley, I love sharing my things with my friends. Pardon me, Bewley. Let me see who's at the door.
Sure, Mumbo. I'll keep making music if that's okay.
Sure, have fun.
I like the sound this one makes. This one is cool, too.
Hey, Bewley, look who came to visit us.
Oh, hi, Audrey. Mumbo is letting me play with his musical instrument collection. Neat. Can I join the play? Sure.
The more the merrier, I always say. Together, we can make mirth.
Here, Audrey. Try this one.
Okay. Hey, this is neat.
This one is my favorite.
I wonder if we can play the Peppermint Tea song together.
Let's try.
Audrey, you start us off.
Peppermint tea, we love thee. Peppermint tea.
That was fun.
Nothing like teamwork to make music sound good.
I agree.
I think I'll try this instrument.
No, Bewley, I was going to play with that one.
Well, I called it first.
Well, I saw it first.
No, you didn't. You're just saying that.
No, I'm not. I want to play with that one now.
Well, you can't because I'm playing with it.
That's not fair. It's mine.
No, it's mine.
And I said it's mine. Give it here now.
I will not. You can wait your turn.
Well, I will not have a turn because I'm not playing with your old stinky toys.
Fine. Then I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry you're not playing with one another, and I'm sorry you think my toys stink. I don't really feel like playing now either. I'll see you two later.
Oh, I think we've hurt Mumbo's feelings.
Me too.
Bewley, I'm sorry I got so angry at you.
Well, I'm still a little angry, but I forgive you. I'm sorry I would not share Mumbo's toys. Oh, I feel so badly. These are Mumbo's toys that he freely shared with me, yet I wasn't willing to share them with you. I'm sorry, Audrey.
Bewley, I understand. I'm still a little mad too, but I forgive you. I think we need to apologize to Mumbo too.
Me too. I think he's over at his workbench.
Let's go see. I'm sorry I call your toys stinky toys.
And I'm sorry that I would not share your toys with Audrey. I forgot they were your toys. I was only thinking about myself.
I forgive you both, but it really hurt my feelings. I was sharing my stuff with you both, but you couldn't share with one another. I forgive you, but I'm still a little hurt by your actions.
And we forgive each other, but we're still a little mad about what happened.
Yeah, I'm a little angry.
Hey, maybe we could use these angry and mad feelings in a positive way.
That sounds good.
But how?
I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands. If I get angry and feel real angry, it helps to make things with my hands. I don't have to hit or bite or punch 'cause I control my feelings, my angry, mad feelings with the fun things that I make. I like to make things, I like to make things, I like to make things with my hands.
That's it! We can make a musical.
What?
Yeah, a musical with singing and dancing and lights and music.
Whoa, guys, you're gonna make a musical?
No, we are going to make a musical. You, Bewley, and me.
Yeah, but a musical is a big undertaking.
I know, with lights and music and dancing and...
A lot more folks than you, Bewley, and I.
Well, let's make the musical and see how many folks we'll need.
When you say make a musical, Do you mean write a musical?
Sure, I write songs and poems.
And I write letters to my grandparents.
And I've written a few short stories for the newspaper.
See, we can do it. Let's get started now.
Well...
Hey, I'm no longer angry.
Me neither. And I have an idea for a song.
Okay, I want to hear it.
I don't know. We'll see. Audrey, Bewley, what if we have a big production number where we...
So our fantasy friends are going to make a musical. Mumbo's right. Making a musical is a big job. But Bewley and Audrey seem to think they can. I'm glad they could take their angry and mad feelings and do something positive. You know, everyone gets mad and angry sometimes. Sure. It's not wrong to be mad or angry. It's what we do with our mad and angry feelings that count. If we hit or bite or punch, then we are not making good choices with our angry, mad feelings. But if we can do something positive, like clean up our toys, or paint a picture, or make a musical, then we are making good choices with our mad and angry feelings. When you learn that you can control the angry and mad feelings inside, that's a really good feeling. When I was a child, one of the ways that I would sometimes deal with my angry, mad feelings was by drawing pictures. That really helped me express my anger in ways that did not hurt me or anyone else. And when I became a man, I went to school to study art and became better at drawing pictures. In fact, I have a notebook here at the workshop filled with pictures I drew for a book titled, It Must Be a Weed. I have that book right over here. Yes, here is that notebook of drawings. I thought it was here, and it's underneath this page. In fact, there's many drawings in this notebook, but here's the first. It's a picture of a bluebird on a tree, perched on a tree. And there's hills in the background and another tree in the background. And it's morning time, or at least I like to think that it's morning time when I look at this picture. Let's see if we can find this picture in the actual published book. I have the book also. And I think that picture is right here in the book. Does that look like? It is. This is the original picture, and this is what it looks like reproduced in a book. In fact, I would like to read the first chapter of this book to you today. I think we have enough time to do that. Let me close up our drawing book. I'll put that away. I want to protect the illustrations in case we need them another time. But let's read the first chapter of It Must Be a Weed. In a time that is past, but not so long ago, lived a very young bird named Bluebird. Bluebird loved to look at the world around him and admire its beauty. One such day, Bluebird marveled at a flower growing all alone. Suddenly, there was a rushing gust of wind. Whoosh, 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 down swooped Corn Crow.
What do you think you're doing?
Snarled Corn Crow. I am looking at this beautiful flower, Bluebird whispered nervously.
Beautiful flower,
snapped Corn Crow.
Beautiful flowers grow in gardens.
They do? Bluebird asked.
That's right,
Corn Crow quickly replied.
Do you see a garden?
No, sir, Bluebird answered, looking around.
Do you see other flowers?
Corn Crow snarled. No, sir, I do not, Bluebird answered worriedly.
All you see is this one flower. I always say a flower growing in the wrong place is a weed.
Corn Crow turned and looked at the flower. Then he looked back at Bluebird and spoke proudly.
You remember the words of old Corn Crow. Anything in the wrong place is a weed.
Yes, sir, Mr. Corn Crow, stuttered Bluebird. Corn Crow cacawed, flapped his shiny black wings, and was gone. Can this flower be nothing more than a weed? Bluebird asked himself. Flowers do grow in gardens, that's true. There is no garden here. This flower must be a weed because it's growing in the wrong place, Bluebird decided as he turned away sorrowfully. It's a shame to waste such beauty on nothing more than a weed. What kind of advice do you think Corn Crow gave Bluebird? Do you think a flower growing all by itself outside of a garden is nothing more than a weed? Well, we'll think about that next time. We'll read another chapter when we're together next time in It Must Be a Weed. Right now, it's about time for me to go. I'll get the bag that I came in with, and I'll meet you over by the butler. Come on. Next time, I will see you next time. We will be together next time. We'll sing a song or two or three. We'll sing it strong and merrily. Next time, when we're together next time. Next time, I will see you next time. We will work together next time. We'll talk together openly about important things we see. Next time, when we're together next time. We will think more about our fantasy friends as they make their musical. And we'll read some more in our book. I want you to remember, I like you because you are you. You know when we'll be together again? Next time.